Welcome to The Sports Answer with Rudy Campos Jr. From the latest NBA news to the gridiron and beyond, we are diving deep into the headlines that matter most to you. Today's show is proudly brought to you by Salem Surround San Antonio, your local experts in digital marketing and audience connection. Before we break the huddle, do me a huge favor. Head over to YouTube and subscribe to The Answer Now TV. Don't miss a single highlight, interview, or heated debate. The clock is ticking, and the game is on. Let's go.
This is Jenkins.
Welcome to the Friday Drive edition of the Sports Center. It's Rudy Campos Jr. alongside my host over the most, Mr. Derek Gervin, Hall of Famer, UTSA Hall of Famer. Derek Gervin, former NBA, I'm going to say star with the New Jersey Nets. Mr. Derek Gervin here joining us again. You can catch us every single Friday here on the Sports Answer, part of Answer Now TV. Shout out to Salem Surround, proud sponsors of us here on the Sports Answer. This is the Friday Drive. We got a lot to get into. I know a lot of you guys out there and females are wondering what are Derek's thoughts on the NBA playoffs that are coming up. But before we get into any kind of playoff talk, before we get into any other NBA talk, and the reason why I'm upset that the NBA said, you know what, Luka, Cade, you're okay. You're okay. You don't need to play 65 games. You don't need to worry about that. Before we get into any of that, Derek, I want to know one thing. You followed a career of a player who ended up passing away today. That is international legend Oscar Schmidt, who passed away today. A lot of the kids don't know about Oscar Schmidt. I know very little, but I know enough to know one of the all-time greatest players, scorers in basketball history. Shed some light for the youth out there on Oscar Schmidt.
Well, first I'll say good evening. Wow, sad news. I was a big fan of Oscar Schmidt. A lot of people my age and maybe even in the 40s and 50-year-olds are familiar with him.
Mm-hmm.
We saw him become a legend in Brazil. And we saw him also play very well against the United States teams in the Olympics. And for me, this is even a sadder moment because me being a guy that played overseas for over 10 years and being known as a scorer myself, it was sad. There were four guys that I could think of, and I'm putting myself in there when we talk about overseas. Drazen Petrovic, late Draz, who was my teammate with the Nets. Rest in peace, Draz. You have Walter Serbiak, who was the only guy over there in Spain to average more points than I did. He's the father of Wally Serbiak, former Minnesota Timberwolf. Yeah. And then you have myself, and you have Oscar Schmidt. And Oscar could flat out put the ball in the basket. For me, he was a joy to watch. I'm sad for his loss, and I want to send my condolences to his family and his fans as well. And I just want to say, Oscar, you were a great one, and you will be missed.
29-year professional career, something that, let's be real, no one's going to hit 29-year professional career ever. Oscar Schmidt had a 29-year professional career, was the all-time leading scorer in basketball history until obviously, LeBron James passed him up. I still believe he holds the Olympic scoring record. I think he still holds the FIBA all-time scoring record. So, again, Oscar Schmidt, one of the greatest basketball players, one of the greatest scorers of all time, gone. And I think he was only, 58 or 68, I believe? 68 years old. Very, very young. So, again, a sad day in basketball. But do you have one memory of Oscar? Because for me, it's always been Olympic. And the opportunity, he was drafted, I think, in the 6th round of an NBA draft, but just never wanted to play in the NBA.
Personally, I used to watch videos of him on YouTube. So I have a lot of memories. Me being a Gervin, coming from a scoring family. Yeah. And then you see a guy that was lighting it up like him, shooting all those jump shots. They talk about Steph Curry today. And I can understand some of the young ones associate with Steph. But before Steph, there were guys like Drazen Petrovic. There were guys like Oscar Schmidt. And when you talk about top of the line, all time for Europe, for me putting the ball in the basket, it will be down. Oscar will go down as number one for me. Oscar Schmidt, rest in peace, my man. It was a joy watching you.
Rest in peace, Oscar Schmidt. Again, gone, I would say too soon, 68 years old. One of the greatest basketball players of all time. Rudy Campos, Derek Gervin. This is the Sports Answer. This is the Friday Drive. You guys can join us on YouTube. Again, Answer Now TV on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. You can find us there. We've also got shows that come out on Sunday as well. Sports Answer shows got to get you going on Sunday mornings. Do not forget, shout out to another show that is a part of our network, Spurs in Focus with Jeff Garcia. You can catch Spurs in Focus on Answer Now TV as well. It's just growing. It's growing. And you know what's even growing a little bit more, Derek, before we get into our playoff talk, because NBA basketball is going to dominate this show. But there is an NBA that has a letter before it. That's the WNBA. And that's growing too. Now, recently going into expansion, they've already added Portland, and then they've added Toronto. They're going to be starting to play this season. Well, the CBA comes out, and you're getting $1 million contracts now. I think Aaliyah Boston just signed recently today a $6.3 million contract. So the money's there. The money's good. WNBA announces, hey, you know what? We're going to expand more now. Philadelphia, Detroit, Cleveland, you're on deck for a team. Is it too fast? Is it too quick? Because you don't have, you just signed the CBA. You just got all this money going to the players. Is it just way too fast? Because again, we don't know what we have yet with this new CBA that has been released, that's been signed.
For me, it's way too soon, but I don't know. Maybe Miss Kathy knows something we don't know. Maybe they've been doing their due diligence and they decided that this was the time to bring in more teams. Me being around the NBA all these years, I know how expansion works. And for me, this is kind of, I'll say a little too soon. Because like you say, we don't know right now how it's going to work out. And so it's like they're really putting all their ducks in a row a little early. So I hope it works out, but we'll see how it works out in the future. But I do have to say that I'm glad to see these young ladies being compensated a lot more. And I think they deserve it. And I think hopefully things will keep getting better. But I'm kind of still on the ledge when it comes to this expansion, adding these teams so quickly.
Yeah, expanding, there's nothing wrong with the expansion. The NBA is about to expand to Las Vegas and Seattle. There's nothing wrong with the expansion. Don't twist my words on that, fans out there. I love the expansion. I just think you just expanded to Golden State. They had a successful season. Then you go Portland, you go Toronto. You want to add 3 more teams. I think one of them will start playing in 2028, another one in 2029, the last one in 2030. So by 2030, you're going to have a bigger WNBA. But then it comes down to roster sizes. Do you clip the roster size down? Do you, the money available, is there going to be more money available? Do you expand the season to add more games because you're going to need more revenue? What if these expansion teams, what if Toronto and Portland don't get the same attendance? They're going to get it the first year because everybody loves it. But if you're not as successful, attendance goes down. Here you are expanding, yet you have issues in these other cities that don't draw crowds. So that, to me, that's the part where I'm like, you probably should have pumped the brakes a little bit on this.
I think success, just having a team in Golden State, I think got them a little excited.
Playoffs.
And I think they might have, the WNBA might have jumped the gun a little too soon. But like I say, maybe they know some things that we don't know. I'm sure they've had conversations. They've done their due diligence, and we'll see. I'm going to support them, and I hope it works out.
It should work out. It definitely should work out. Shout out to Salem Surround, sponsors of us here on the Sports Answer. It's Derek Irvin, Rudy Campos Jr., your Friday Drive. You guys got comments? You can drop the comments in there. We'll definitely see if we can get some read for you guys. But again, we appreciate everybody joining us here on Sports Answer Friday Drive. You know what else is a little bit too soon, Derek? And that is the NBA coming out and saying, oh, hey, Luka Cade, you didn't meet the requirements, but we're going to go ahead and, Cade, you had a reason. Collapsed lung. It's medical. We understand. Luka, you were there for, you had to be there when your child was born. But then you also got 16 texts. We're going to rescind that game as well. Their suspension for that game. You know what? You guys are eligible now. Congratulations. Well, on X or Twitter or whatever the kids are calling it today, I went on there last night and I made a comment. I mean, my comment, my X is still there, where I said, it's let's be honest, Victor should have gotten a few awards these past couple of years, especially last year. And, it doesn't look right for the NBA to do this all of a sudden. Well, you would think people said I said something horrible, but my comments were awards. My thing was defensive player of the year. Victor played 46 games last year. He should have gotten defensive player of the year because in the games that he missed, he was still the best player on defense, regardless if he played or not in those last few games. So that was my take there. Even at that, he should have had an All-NBA award last year, whether it be second or third team, should have been in it. But now you've got the NBA saying, Luka, Cade, you're okay. Why is it okay to change the rules for these two guys, yet you're going to screw out Victor? Anthony Edwards is another one that's getting screwed in this. Jaylen Brown, I believe, was another one. So players that should have been able to be eligible due to medical, because remember, Victor's was a heart thing. So, I mean, technically, you don't want to have him out there and collapse on the court. So, I mean, what do you think on the 65-game rule right now?
Well, for me, this is something I take very serious. In 1978, Bill Walton won the MVP with the Portland Trail Blazers, and he played 58 games. My brother, George Gervin, played 80 games, and he finished second in the MVP voting. And I thought it was unfair then, but if I look back now, I guess, they didn't have any specific number of games that you had to play. So I can kind of understand as I reflect back. But looking at the situation now, I am a Detroiter, a native Detroiter. So I was kind of glad to see Cade, be eligible for these awards, and Luka as well. But why make rules if you aren't going to enforce them? And that's what's been bothering me about the NBA. You got situations, even like the situation that happened the other day with LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
When he tripped Bam. Dirty play, right? And now it seems like everything is based on money. So even though people are making decisions that are terrible and bad for the game, slapping the face to the game, they're still getting rewarded. Yeah. And then I look at Cade, and here's the biggest problem I have to tell you that I have with Cade and Luka.
Okay.
Being eligible now. I'm not sad that they're eligible, but I have to think about those guys now that they're basically taking spots from.
Yeah.
Because you had guys that were borderline, like a Kawhi Leonard,
who
could have possibly ended up first team NBA. And you have guys like that now that'll lose out on money. And because a lot of these people having their contracts that when they win these awards, they win, they get these big bonuses. So I'm thinking about the Jalen Brunsons and the Donovan Mitchells now.
Yeah.
And how these awards can hurt them because you allow Luka and Cade to come back. And I know there's sometimes you have exceptions, exemptions or whatever. But when you look at Luka, for me, I'm not happy about Luka coming back because, first of all, the man got suspended. He got up to 16 technicals. Yeah. So that already tells me the behavior was a problem. And then they go to say that he went and watched his baby be born, which is a great thing. But you're giving Luka special privileges. What's going to happen now as we move forward? Every year you're going to have someone saying, what about me? You did it for those two guys. What about me? And this is where it's going to be tricky. Now, if something were to go down seriously, if someone say they can't make it to a game, right? Their family is ill or whatever that may be. If you remember a few years ago, we had a gentleman didn't show up to games. And where was he at? Daughter's birthday party.
Yeah.
So this opens up a can of worms, man. I'm happy for Luka and Cade, but NBA, you just created a mess. And now we're going to see how it pans out moving forward.
It's a huge mess, because one thing I had talked about on the last Sports Answer was these guys aren't eligible now. And this was way before we got the Luka and Cade talk, the exemption part. But I said these guys not being able to be eligible, okay, they missed the threshold. They missed the 65 games. That opens the door for guys to make all NBA third team. Now, the guy that I threw out there was Derek White. I said Derek White gets an all NBA third team now because these guys are ineligible. Is Derek White a top 15 player in the league? No, he's not. But now because he has all NBA on his resume, what you said, his next contract is, you know what? I deserve some kind of max because I meet that qualification now. So the 65 game idea, I like it. I understand it. But why is it you have to have 65 games to win an award to make all NBA, but you only have to play 58 games to be crowned scoring champ or rebound champ?
Yeah.
Not even MVP. You got to have 65. But to win a statistical category, you have to play a minimum of 58 games. So, again, why not just make it 58 games? I mean, I would prefer that more than 65, but that's the other part too, is the max deal. You're getting guys that could have maybe qualified all NBA that aren't going to, there's 2 spots gone now from 2 of those guys. So it's heartbreaking for me because some of these guys give it their all, and yet they're right there. Like you said, they're on the fence, but now they get pushed out because of this whole, well, you're exempt type thing.
Denny Avdia,
a perfect example.
Yeah, guys like that.
I mean, is he top 15? No.
He might have been top 17. Kevin Durant, Devin Booker. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Guys that thought they had an opportunity. And then when you add Luka and Cade back, you're taking away those guys' opportunities. So that's the other side of it that I hope that they look at as we move forward into the future, because it helps one side, but it also hurts another side.
It affects a lot, man. It affects money. It affects money in their pocket. I mean, the All-NBA selection, it's top 15 players, man, and that's money right there. Obviously, I don't think Cade's not going to win MVP. He's going to get an All-NBA nod, but he's not going to win MVP. Luka's not going to win MVP. So what is this normally? It's just for All-NBA purposes?
Sounds like it.
That's all it is. Neither guy was going to be winning the MVP award. I mean, everybody inside of LA thinks Luka wins the MVP. Detroit, I think some people in Detroit maybe feel Cade deserves it. But, I mean, if you're looking at the overall spectrum of things, neither guy is going to be – they're going to be top 5, maybe. Maybe Cade's top 6. But neither one – it's going to be Joker, it's going to be SGA, or it's going to be Wemby, pretty much when it comes to MVP talk.
Well, for me, it's only been 3 or 4 guys. I had Jaylen Brown in it, but I took him out a couple of weeks ago, and maybe when Jason Tatum came back, I kind of slighted Jaylen after that. But to see Luka and Cade be able to be eligible, like I said, it's some good comes out of it. And then the other side, I'm still thinking about those guys who are being affected. We're talking about millions of dollars now.
Yeah.
A guy that could have made a third team All-NBA, now he'll be removed because of basically what I'll call popularity votes.
Yeah. The all-star kick in the groin is basically what it is when it comes to popularity votes, man. NBA talk, NBA MVP talk now. We're going to move on. Before we go to our first commercial break, after the commercial break, we're going to be doing our Spurs Cheesemas segment, very popular segment. We're going to get that after the commercial break. And we'll also get into some strictly Joker talk, and then we'll make our playoff predictions as well after the break. But before we hit a break, man, our NBA MVP race here. Shea, Victor, Nikola, and we have Luka on the graphic because he got, he's back in it now apparently. But those 3 guys, I'm going to give you mine. I want to give you, and your arms are long enough to where you can slap me across the table. I know that you can. So I want to get that slap out of the way. That way I can recover from it while you give your MVP, your final MVP take here. But you and I talked the other day, and I'm going to stick with it. I have Wemby and Joker 1-2. Either order, I don't care. To be honest, I don't care. I take off the Spurs fan hat. I make a case for Wemby. I make a case for Joker. But if I'm on the hot seat, I have Wemby 1, Joker 2. I have Shea 3, and then I have Luka 4. Now, everybody, again, probably come at me again because Shea is the best player. Shea is not the best player in the league. He plays superb offense. He's a scorer. Outside of that, what does Shea do? MVP is the most valuable player. Is Shea valuable to the Oklahoma City Thunder? Heck yeah, he is. But are they still a playoff team without him? I think they're 5th or 6th seed without him. They're definitely going to make something.
Yes.
Then you look at Victor. Are the Spurs a playoff team without Victor? Fringe playoff. They're more play-in team without Victor, but they're not a true playoff team like Victor. But then you take Joker out. Joker, the Nuggets are more than likely at best 9th or 10th seed in the play-in. And if not, they're definitely lottery bound. So value of the MVP award goes to Joker. But my final rankings, I've got Wemby only because of the dominance the Spurs have had and the way they dominated OKC as well. I have to give him, I have to overlook that. I would look at that as well. Then I have Joker because he, to me, is a true MVP. And then I have SGA after that. What do you got for yours?
Well, I believe the NBA is going to pick Shea as the MVP. And I have them going by their criteria and all that. Right now, I have Shea, and then I have Jokic second, and then I have Victor, and then I have Jaylen Brown over Luka.
Yeah, because, I would definitely.
Yeah, and so, but here's the thing with me. I'm here in San Antonio. I love Victor. Think he's had a spectacular season, and I love Shea. I'm a big fan of Shea's. But when I look at it, we're talking about most valuable player, not best player. And you said that clearly, most valuable.
Yeah.
If you take Victor off of the Spurs, I still say they have a chance to be a 5th, 6th seed because you have guys like Dylan Harper, Stephen Castle, Devin Vassell. All these guys are continuing to get better. Keldon Johnson, who really should be in the 6th Man of the Year award voting. So you got guys like that. You go to OKC without Shea, they still play well. I still think if you got a healthy Jalen Williams, you got Isaiah Joe, all these guys, AJ Mitchell, Kason, I can go on and on, Hardenstein.
McCain?
Yes.
Picked up McCain.
So I think, Jared McCain. So if you take Shea off, I still think they're a pretty good team.
Yeah.
Now, I go to Denver. And you and I talked about this last night.
Yeah.
If you take Jokic off of the Denver Nuggets, who's one of my favorite teams, a team that won the championship, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
You take Jokic off of there, you, myself, Shemaiah, and 2 more guys, we're going to go find about 6'8" in San Antonio. We're going to go try to take on Denver and see if we can maybe steal a game or 2.
I think we get 2 out of 7.
and I'm laughing about it, but I really mean I'm a big Wemby fan. And it's sad to me that he's been penalized, I really think, because of the 29 minutes a game.
Yeah.
But Jokic, man, he's I told you before we came on the air, if Jokic even gets them to the conference finals, he goes into my all-time top 10. And it's not often that I change my votes of the players that I've picked because I'm still old school. I still believe in the Bill Russells and the Wilt Chamberlains. So I would not all of a sudden act like those guys are obsolete.
Yeah.
But Jokic, I told you, when you could go look at the guy's stats, and we're wondering, this is you, myself, Shemaiah, whoever it may be. Okay, he got 25 points. Now let me move to the next category. How many rebounds? Oh, boy, he got 18 rebounds. And then I have to go look at the third category. We're talking about a center. Oh, this guy, 28 points, 18 rebounds, 17 assists. And he's doing that consistently. I don't even care about the wins and losses. And then, some people are going to say, what about Russell Westbrook? Not the same.
Oh, God, no.
Not the same. I watched Russ. I watched Ibaka, Steven Adams, those guys move out of the way so Russ could rebound, right?
Yeah.
So we're not talking about stat chasing, just pure playing basketball. And I haven't seen 11 people that do better than Jokic in my lifetime. So if they get to the conference finals, he moves up a lot on my list.
To add one stat to Joker's, you talk about, we see the 28, the 18, the 16, but there's another stat that people fail to realize because you're so in awe, that 1 turnover, maybe 2.
Yeah.
He's so limited on the turnovers as well. He has games where he has a good amount,
but not usually.
Now,
here's the kicker, though, not to interrupt you.
No, this is your show, man.
38% from three as well.
Yeah.
I mean, so if you look at the things he's doing, he's in rare air. And I mean it. We see it consistently. And if you remember, Rudy, this is the biggest thing for me with this young man. About, I say, 5 years ago?
Yeah.
And we were talking about him kind of like we were talking about Zion Williamson as far as the weight.
Yeah.
And needing to go on the diet. When he came back one summer, you could see the difference. I guess he changed his eating habits. Man, something happened. And we saw the transformation. And ever since then, if you want to be honest, he could have been a 5-time MVP at this point in his career.
Should have.
And I can't ignore that. So no matter what the NBA says, I'm going by the eye test. He could have very easily been a 5-time in a row MVP. And for me, that's headed to the top 10 for me.
Easily top 10. Now, we're going to talk a little bit more about Joker here in a second here, because we want to talk a little bit about him. But one thing, reason why I've got Wemby 1 over Joker, and when I say 1, it's 1A, 1B. If Joker wins MVP, I'm fine with that 100% for the reasons you said. But because Wemby didn't have to play the minutes like Shea and Joker did and still put up the stats that he did, that's why I think I've got him on that MVP ladder as 1. Because if you do what like a lot of the kids like to do, well, you know what? Let's give Victor that extra 7 minutes a game. What does his stats look like? They probably look 30 plus points, X number more rebounds, maybe even an additional block more a game. So the stats look a lot better if you base everything off of 4 minutes, 35 minutes?
Projections, yeah.
Projections. So I think because he did more in less, that's probably why I have him at number 1.
Here's the only thing with me with when we talk about projections. If Michael Jordan played 22 years, he would possibly be the all-time leading scorer.
Yeah.
See, those things we can never really answer. So I understand the projections, but sometimes, man, I just go with the reality, the eye test. It is what it is. And I mean, a lot of these things it's good conversation, right?
Perfect conversation.
And a lot of times people won't agree on things, but the fact that we're on here talking about this kind of stuff, man, it's exciting. And I have to say, I'm excited that we back on the air today on a nice Friday, my man. And thank you for those of you that are tuning in. And I'm enjoying what we're talking about, and it's only going to get better.
All right, man. Before we go to our first commercial break, let's talk Jokic here. So I don't know, a lot of these nerds out here like myself, we're comic guys, and we were able to create a graphic similar to DC Comics, The Killing Joke, which had the Joker basically taking a picture of his victim, who turned out, it was Barbara Gordon, basically comic guys out there. So you see that graphic online with us right now. But Nikola Jokic, you said you could put him in your top 10 if he gets to a conference final. That could very well happen this year. He's going to have to get through San Antonio and through Minnesota. I mean, I can agree with you on that easily. Stat-wise, I mean, unreal. One thing that we didn't mention that we've talked about before, top 3 in basketball IQ of all time. I mean, legitimately, is he the perfect player, at least that we've seen in our generations?
Well, you keep hearing people saying how Steph changed the game.
Yeah.
I don't know why we haven't heard yet how Jokic has changed the game. Even if you look at it, he even brings the ball down the floor, right? So we only see that at Golden State, Draymond, point forward. You got Jokic, who's the center, bringing the ball down the floor. And if you look at it, his importance on the floor is just as important as Steph's.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 guys I would name. They encapsulate. If you just look at what they bring to the total team, man, to the game, it's amazing. I watched some guys talk about Steph last night, right? And it's not just the scoring, right? It's the overall impact that he brings, the running around, what it does to the other players defensively,
Yeah.
and things like that. With Jokic, is the same. Those are the only two guys I believe you cannot game plan for, and that includes Victor. I believe you can game plan for Victor. You know why I say that? For Victor likes to do what for a 7'5" guy? Shoot a lot of jumpers, right?
Oh yeah.
So if you can entice him, if you take a step back away from him, you can entice him to become a jump shooter, kind of like Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
You can't do that with Jokic. Jokic is going to mix it up no matter what. You never know what you're getting.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of reminds me of Steph offensively. And Jokic's offense is so potent that I don't even really look at the defense, because he's really not a bad defender either. They say he is, but he's not. He averages over a steal a game, but his offensive impact is so high. I can't think of many people higher. I'm a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar fan.
He has the same impact as Kareem.
Yeah, okay. So
I mean, and we saw, I think Kareem was okay. He was a decent basketball player.
Yeah, he was a pretty good player.
I mean, talking top 5 and of all centers of all time, you and I, we talked, and I asked you, is he in your top 5? You mentioned Bill, you mentioned Wilt, you mentioned Kareem, Shaq, and we mentioned Hakeem. Now, Nikola, does he push any of those guys down? And the one guy I hear a lot about too is Bill Russell. But I'm like, you can't really knock Bill down because, okay, yeah, he was one of the tallest players in his time, most dominant player. You can't fault a guy for playing in a certain era of any sport. It doesn't work like that. But if there's one guy you could probably move down, would it have to be Dream?
We talked about that before we came on the air.
But now we got to put it out there because they want to know what we talked about.
I could not take Bill Russell out of there because that's like me. You have to respect what he did. And I hear people say he played against plumbers and all that. I don't know how those people know because most of them weren't even born. So I have no clue how they think they know who he played against.
JJ Redick wasn't born.
Yeah, so he didn't know. So it's kind of the reason I say that is because what are they going to say 40 years from now that Victor was 7'5" and being guarded by 6'6" guys? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So this era here, I know they try to promote the people in their era right now, but what are y'all going to say 40 years ago? 40 years from now? You're going to say the same thing about Victor? Is he going to be penalized? So I can't penalize Bill Russell. They won 11 championships.
Yeah.
He played against some guys by the name of Nate Thurman, Wilt Chamberlain. So he wasn't really playing against plumbers like some people may say that he was. So I'm just looking at it now, and you look at Jokic, man, what offensively, what doesn't he do?
Passes, he rebounds, he scores.
There's only two people I can think about right now that people say he had no weakness. A lot of people that played against Michael Jordan said he had no weakness, right?
Yeah. Only
other one I could say would be who? Nikola Jokic. Today, I'm still trying to figure out what is his weakness. He can handle the ball for a big guy. He knows how to pass the ball.
Yeah,
he can shoot the ball. He sets screens. I mean, what doesn't he do? I have not seen as complete a player offensively in a long time, if ever.
So, man, I guess before we go to our commercial break, we got to get one in here. But the way you're talking about him makes me ask you again this one question that we've talked about on past shows. Does he ultimately have the opportunity to be the GOAT? Averaging a triple-double more times than anybody has ever had. If he ended his career averaging a triple-double, say he gets 2 more titles, he gets 2 more MVPs, where does that put him up there?
2 more titles and 2 more MVPs. So 2 more MVPs will get him 5?
5 MVPs, 3 titles, and he
3 finals MVPs.
He has a career average of a triple-double. Ends his career averaging a triple-double.
Not just a triple-double, high triple-double.
Extremely high.
2 more rings.
2 more rings. Because let's be real, in this era of basketball, it's a little hard to get a ton of rings the way, three-peats,
Yeah.
three-peat. It's going to be super hard.
If you give him 3 rings, if he wins 3 rings, I got a list right here. Look, 'cause remember, I got Jordan and Kareem, or Kareem and Jordan. Sorry, Kareem, in either order, right? And I'm not going to disrespect Kareem. But, oh, man, I have to have Kareem / Jordan / Jokic. I'm just he's in rare air, man. I think about it more and more and more. And, I watch a lot of videos at night, right? So I pull up some of these old NBA videos. I go back in the day when my brother was playing. I go to the Magic Bird era. I go to the Jordan era. Just last night, I watched the Lakers when Kobe was playing against the 76ers.
Yeah.
99, 2000, I believe. So I even watched that, right? And so when I look at these Jokic videos, come on, man, I'm a Gervin. So I done seen practically every shot that's ever been taken, George, the arsenal that he has. But when I look at Jokic, man, you see, I can't help but smiling. The guy is different. We talk about generational. He's generational.
Thank you. Because I was saying he was generational, but yet people hate the fact that I don't put Victor generational, even though he's getting there. For me, he's getting
Why
there.
couldn't they both be generational?
I mean, they can.
Because they're really 2 different eras.
Yeah.
Victor's coming. Jokic has already played over 10 years.
Yeah.
Victor's just coming along. So for his era, Jokic is generational. And Victor has an opportunity to be generational. People, he's not there yet. We have to stop anointing these young people so soon.
I'm telling you.
You got to give them time. You don't all of a sudden get in the GOAT conversation because you had 3 great years. There's a thing called longevity.
Yeah.
And so you have to let it pan out and see what happens over the next several years. But right now, Victor is on his way to being generational. Jokic is already there.
There you go. That's what I've been telling you guys and girls, and you're hearing it from Derek Gervin as well. Jokic is generational. Victor has the opportunity. He's just not the Joker wasn't generational in his first couple of years. It didn't happen overnight. It took a little while.
Ralph Sampson. They want you just anointing too soon today. Just give it time.
Yeah, you got to give it time. One thing we do is going to give Salem Surround some time right now here. Be sure to give them a call with 210-526-3635. Salem Surround, proud sponsor of us here on the Sports Answer. It's Derek Gervin, Rudy Campos Jr. When we get back, Spurs Cheesemas segment, plus our NBA playoff predictions, I promise you, we're done with the Joker talk, at least for today, I think. But something in the Spurs Cheesemas, when we talk about the Spurs, Derek, was, you asked me, is Victor even better defender than David Robinson? Oh, San Antonio fans, please don't get mad on this Fiesta weekend and Spurs playoff weekend. When we get back, we'll talk more about that. It's Derek Gervin, Rudy Campos Jr. Now a word from our sponsors over at Salem Surround.
You've been watching The Sports Answer, brought to you by Salem Surround. Salem Surround is proud to be San Antonio's premier digital marketing agency, offering a wide array of services like digital audio, email marketing, online reputation management, SEO, social marketing, and more. Visit salemsurround.com, San Antonio, and stay in the game.
All right, shout out to Salem Surround, proud sponsors of us here on the Sports Answer. It is the Friday Drive. You can catch the Sports Answer on Answer Now TV on YouTube, and you can also catch Jeff Garcia's new show, Spurs in Focus, all a part of the Sports Answer family here on Answer Now TV. Derek Gervin, Rudy Campos Jr. will be coming to you every single Friday for the Friday Drive edition of the Sports Answer, and it's NBA playoff prediction time, Derek. Now, we don't know who's going to win tonight. Obviously, you got 2 games that are going to determine who's going to play the number 1 seeds there. But we're going to just kind of say that the number 1 seeds are going to probably advance, Detroit and OKC. Do you see any one of these 8 teams, which ones get in? Do you see any one of them giving issues to either the Thunder or the Pistons?
Well, I would like to see the Charlotte Hornets.
I think they go 6.
With Detroit. That's what I want to see. I think that's an interesting series. I would pick the Pistons to win that series, but I want to see a little more LaMelo Ball. And the guy is box office. If you're talking about bringing people into the arena, and if you notice now, he's invented his own shot.
Yeah,
Steph with the 3, LaMelo with the one-legged 3. And so he's taking that to a new level. So I would like to see Charlotte. And then on the other side tonight, oh boy, Phoenix Suns and Golden State Warriors.
Who gives the Thunder the best series?
Oh, that's a no-brainer. Golden State, the team that has Steph Curry.
Yeah, I figured that.
I like Devin Booker and those guys, but you never know who's going to show up. Grayson Allen, those guys. I don't think they have enough offense. They still don't have a point guard. So I want to see Golden State and OKC. I actually think that wouldn't be a sweep, like many people would probably call it. No. I think Steph Curry steals a game.
How many games do you think it goes? If it's Golden State and Oklahoma City, what would you think it would go?
5. It's like me betting on. It's like me picking my cards in spades. 5 with a possible 6.
I think it goes. I think against the Warriors, it would probably go 6 games. I think it goes 6 games for there. If they're playing Phoenix, 5 games. I mean, you kind of maybe want to give Phoenix 1 game. I think that goes maybe 5. Detroit, if they play, if they play Charlotte, I like 6 games against Charlotte. I think Charlotte comes out on top. I don't think.
I want to give you something to think about with the Golden State.
Sure.
You're looking at Al Horford and Porzingis.
Okay.
2 guys, as we know, that helped lead Boston to their championship.
Yeah.
So you have to have something to nullify, or not even nullify, just kind of limit a little bit Isaiah Hardenstein and Chet Holmgren.
Okay.
So you look at it when you got those 2 guys, if you wanted to throw them in the lineup, Horford and Porzingis, they're part of the reason the Warriors advanced, aren't they?
Yeah.
Al Horford with the 4 threes in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Porzingis had 25. So if you can get that kind of production from them, and then you got Steph Curry, as Stephen A. Smith says, the greatest shooter that God has ever created, and then you got Draymond Green, the question is, how would they guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? If they come up with a good game plan for Shai, that gives Golden State a chance. Because Shaq said it clearly last night, and Draymond, any team that has Steph Curry has a chance.
Yeah.
So that's the series I would like to see. I would like to see Charlotte, and then on the West, I'd like to see Golden State get a shot at it.
That would be 2 good series right there. I mean, moving on, let's go to the East. We'll do the East first here. Raptors and Cavaliers. To me, this series is it's a toss-up. I mean, I like the Raptors. I like the Cavaliers. If I'm going to pick one, I'm probably going to go Cleveland beating the Raptors. Yeah, this is the yawn series right here. Like you can hear Derek say, it's the yawn one. Just give me Cleveland. I'm not really going to be invested in this series. Whoever wins. Congratulations. You move on. You're probably going to end up just stopping right there.
Cleveland. Wow. I'm going to take Cleveland in that series, but to me, that's a toss-up.
It is.
Because if you look at now, who they have in Toronto this year? Brandon Ingram.
Scotty Barnes.
Yes, Quickly's played well. RJ Barrett has played well. Yeah. So they could make that a series. I don't think they'll win the series, but I could see that being a good series. But I'm going to take Cleveland in 6.
I think I'm going to take Cleveland in 5. I'll take Cleveland in 5.
So you believe in James Harden that much?
No,
I don't believe in James Harden that much until he shows me otherwise. And Donovan Mitchell's played well, but we've seen Jared Allen have some moments where he's disappeared.
Yeah,
we've seen Evan Mobley have some injury problems this year, so he's been in and out of the lineup. Those are the things I'm factoring in when I say I give Toronto a chance. I don't think they win the series, but I could see it going 6. And it could go either way, but I'll give Cleveland a slight edge.
If the Raptors win the series, I'll be okay with it. I mean, it's not going to make or break me out. Like I said, it's a yawn series. I mean, whoever comes out great. And maybe this gives James Harden a little bit of confidence because he plays decent against a Raptors team. But after that, whoever they face, it's going to end right there. 76ers and Celtics is very, very interesting. It is very interesting because the 76ers, when healthy, again, when healthy, could potentially be the best team in the East. I'm just gonna say it. Not a lot of media people out there and national guys are saying that, but when healthy, this Sixers team could be the best team in the East. When your fourth best player and option is Edgecombe, is it Edgecombe? Yeah, Edgecombe. Then you're like, wow, okay, hold up. VJ Edgecombe is my fourth best player.
Or Paul George, however you want to look
or
at it.
even Paul George. I mean, playoff P, or he's coming back here. But against the Celtics, do you give the Sixers a fighting chance? Because Tatum's just getting back and Jalen's playing MVP level basketball. But again, for me, it feels like the Celtics will win the series. But I have a little bit of stomach pain thinking about it because I feel like if Philly gets hot, this could really go one way.
Well, for me, the key is, and it's a hard one to answer for me because the key is Joel Embiid's health.
Yeah.
And I know he had appendicitis, but I hear he's been cleared to play.
Yeah.
And so far, he's chosen not to play. So if he has a change of heart and he can come back and play, if you got an 80% Joel Embiid playing against Keita instead of Horford and Porzingis,
yeah,
that gives Philly a chance. So I'm high on Boston, but you also have to remember this, Rudy. We were the same guys that talked about Boston when they played Golden State. Tatum and Jaylen Brown are still turning the ball over, going left.
Yep.
I know they won a ring now, but they still have some weaknesses that can be exploited.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got a healthy Embiid, I would call that a pick'em series. But since we don't know his status right now, we can only go by him not playing. I would take Boston. Without Embiid, I would take Boston in 5.
I wish we knew exactly how Embiid was feeling. Because if I knew it was a healthy Embiid, like you said, 85%, I probably would go Philly in this series. But without knowing that, I'm going to go Boston. But give me 6. I think I'm going to go 6. If it goes 7, it's because Embiid's healthy and he's just going to get him to 7 games. I mean, this is a true toss-up game right here, a true toss-up series. We're both taking Boston. Last one we got to talk about. I want to see if we disagree on this one. Hawks and Knicks. You give me that smile like I know something. I don't know anything. Shout out to Eddie Johnson, part of Sirius XM. He kind of stole my thunder earlier, him and Termini. But I like the Knicks. I think they are talented. I think they are good. I just think Atlanta might be the better team at the end of the day.
This is my upset. I asked on Facebook several days ago, which series would be the upset series? Would it be the 3-6 Boston and Atlanta, or would it be 3-6 Denver, Minnesota? I think it would be this series here. I think the Hawks, the revamped Hawks, without Trae Young, I think Quinn Snyder has put together the team that he's wanted. I think I'm going to take the Atlanta Hawks, and I want to say shout out. I know you're not going to play much, man, but I love you. I talked to Keaton Wallace a few days ago, and I wish him well. And Keaton, shout out UTSA. I'm going to go with the Atlanta Hawks and the Keaton Wallace and his boys.
Well, I guess we're not disagreeing because I'm actually going to take the Atlanta Hawks in 6 over the New York Knicks.
Question.
I got an answer, hopefully.
Coming down to the fourth quarter. Now, if these games go down to the wire, then my prediction could change, because if they're close games, that's one guy I'm afraid of.
From New York?
Yeah. And the whole series is by the name of Jalen Brunson.
But, he hasn't had a great statistical year.
Fourth quarter. He's still been
fourth quarter,
it's just like De'Aaron Fox. No matter what goes on over the course of the year, De'Aaron Fox has been a fourth quarter guy.
He has.
Jalen Brunson has been a fourth quarter guy. Jalen Brunson can go 7 for 26, and then he'll hit 2 or 3 of those big baskets in the fourth quarter. And that's the only thing that scares me. Who do they have that could limit Jalen Brunson? And Karl Anthony Towns, I worry about, but not as much. Who can limit Jalen Brunson? And if they could do that, which I think they will, and when I say limit, I mean just hold him to like 45% shooting or lower, I think that the Atlanta Hawks can win this series, and I'm picking Atlanta.
That's why they've got Dyson Daniels. I mean, I think that's the guy you turn to in those moments. But New York in the fourth quarter, keeping it close. You don't think Karl Anthony Towns tries to take it upon himself in some of these games? And you and I know, at least I know, when I see Cat try to take over a game in the fourth quarter, usually doesn't work out very well for that team. So I mean, tends to struggle. So I think the Knicks' downfall is if you're going to the fourth and you're kind of close still. I think you just kind of got to use Cat in sporadic moments. But you're right; it's got to be Jalen Brunson time. I just don't know if the Knicks are going to be prepared for fourth quarters.
If it was Thibodeau, I would probably have questions. But Mike Brown, I'm going to say he will not let Cat sabotage the team. I'll say if he's not, because you look at it, the difference is Thibodeau only wanted to play 6-7 guys.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
You already knew that going into a series. No matter what.
Yeah.
Mike Brown won't be that way. If he has to bring in a Jordan Clarkson, Deuce McBride, those kind of guys, Huck Porty, I could see him making some changes, trying to salvage the season, trying to salvage these games. I don't believe the last coach, Mr. Tibbs, would have done that. Some coaches are stuck in their ways.
Yeah.
I'm going to win my way. I'm going to lose my way. I don't think Mike Brown will be that way. So I think if Cat wasn't playing well and he had to sit Cat, I believe he would do that. Kind of like we watched the game the other day where a team was playing, their best player was put up with Knuppel. You remember Knuppel the other day?
Yeah.
How they sat him down as well as he's played this year. There are some coaches, if you're not bringing it today, I got to try something new. And I believe Mike Brown will do that.
Can I toot my own horn? Because years ago when Pop was still coaching the Spurs and then everybody was talking about, well, Becky Hammond needs to take over. I had one guy circled, and I went on an old podcast with Jeff, and then I even mentioned to you about it. I said Charles Lee should be at the top of the list for San Antonio. And I got the whole, who the hell is Charles Lee? Well, now you see the type of coach that he is. He's got Charlotte back into the playoffs, basically. I mean, he's playing now, but, I mean, Fringe being one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. So shout out to Charles Lee, man. I mean, the guy – I love the way he coaches. He's a no-nonsense guy. He's a really good coach. Hopefully he gets them right on the right path again. But we're going to go over to the Western Conference now. We're not talking Spurs. That's a Cheeseman segment. Rockets and Lakers. I'm going to just say Rockets in 7.
This is similar to the Philadelphia situation.
Yeah.
Is Luka going to be back playing? I know he supposedly came back from overseas. And so now the question is he going to be able to suit up and play? If Luka can play, it's a different series, even though Austin Reeves is out. I think with Luka and LeBron over a 7-game series, they could beat beat Houston with just Luka and LeBron. But I don't know if Luka's coming back because remember now, it's the groin, right?
Yeah.
We know how that can be.
Yeah. So
I think it's just fodder for the news, and Luka came back and all that. I think Luka's going to be back as a spectator. I'm taking the Rockets. As much as I don't like the Rockets, I'm taking them to come out of the first round and beat the Lakers.
I got the Rockets beating the Lakers. I got them in 7, but I think the series of all series is Minnesota-Denver. This is the series that I'll say right now. I told you, I'm gonna tell everybody else. If Denver makes it to the finals, and if they win the title this year, I have to put that up there with one of the greatest NBA title runs in a playoff that I could imagine. I could ever. Man, that goes past Dirks because Dirks was terrific. But this Denver team, when you talk a gauntlet, I expect this series to go 7. If they win and play the Spurs, I expect that to go 7. If they beat the Spurs and they go against OKC, I expect that to go 7. So we're talking maybe minimum 20 games before you get into the NBA Finals. They would have played a quarter of a season just in 3 rounds of NBA playoff basketball. What kind of series is this going to be for you?
Exciting.
Yeah.
Well, you and I picked Denver before the season started. And some people make their picks half season, 60 games into the season. You and I do it in advance, and we both picked Denver. This is the series that scares me more than any series for Denver.
Yeah.
Because who knocked them out 2 years ago? Wasn't it the Timberwolves?
On their home court.
On their home court
Denver,
after leading the series 2-0.
Yep.
Something about Anthony Edwards, when they play against this team, you can just see the look in his face, right? And so I told you I love Denver, but I don't think this Denver team is as good as they were when they won the championship with Jeff Green and Bruce Brown when Bruce was there originally.
Yeah.
I still have some questions about Strother and Watson and Christian Brown and those guys. And I'm happy they brought in Valanciunas. That was a big help. But I still have questions. If Jamal Murray is not playing at a 27, 28 point a game clip, what kind of team are they? If Aaron Gordon is not at least 80%, we know what Aaron Gordon brings to the team.
Yeah.
A lot of people think it's Murray and Jokic. I'm a guy that's always thought it was Jokic and Gordon first.
Yeah.
And then Murray. So we have to see. But right now I'm going to take the the Nuggets. Whew, boy. I'm going to say 6 games, and they avoid the 7th game because Jokic knows he has to get 50, 16 rebounds, and 18 assists for them to avoid game 7. So I'm going to take the Nuggets.
I'm taking the Nuggets. I'm taking them in 7. Unfortunately, I'm giving them 7 games. I'm taking the Nuggets. And again, like you mentioned, we both picked the Nuggets at the beginning of the season. I'm not going to stray away from that. I'm still taking them. But I think Cam Johnson has to be that player for Denver. It's to be the difference maker. That's where I think it lies with Cam Johnson. Plus, Hardaway needs to just continue to stay hot for Denver. I mean, they do that. Maybe we go 6. Maybe I think you got 6 games in there. But nonetheless, it's got to be 7 games. I can't see any way around it. And then you go and you play San Antonio. If they beat the Trailblazers, that's another 7-game series, I think, because both of them, Denver and the Spurs, when healthy, are the 2 most deep teams in the NBA, in my opinion, right now. I think you can go 10.
Denver and the Spurs?
Yeah. I think you can go 10.
What about OKC?
OKC, you can. But there's something about OKC, and I've told you before, I don't have a good feeling about OKC. It just feels different. They won 64, but it doesn't feel like the dominant year that they had last year.
Now, it doesn't seem as dominant. They started off, 24-1?
They sure did.
They ended the season 20-1.
Yeah.
That sounds like pure domination to me. I still believe in the Spurs. OKC, I still got to make them the favorite. I mean, until someone proves otherwise. Oh, yeah. And it sounds like, so Cam Johnson, you're calling Cam Johnson the Denver Nuggets Mikal Bridges.
I guess so, if you want to put it like that. Yeah, I guess so.
He's got to be the utility man.
Yeah, the Andrew Wiggins of the Warriors.
Or the Andrew Wiggins, yes, okay.
I would say the Andrew Wiggins of the Warriors title runs, knock down those key shots, get to the basket, draw a foul here and there. That's what I'm trying to see with Cam Johnson. But yeah, I know OKC's dominant. I'm not gonna deny that, but I just have that gut feeling like it just doesn't feel
like the championship. I don't think, but remember, I didn't pick. I think we'll talk about it as we get to the Spurs Cheeseman. We'll make our picks.
Well, you brought it up good. So we'll get to the Cheeseman now. This is our Spurs Cheeseman segment brought to you again by Salem Surround.
So, like, I hear about the Spurs this y Spurs that, y como que esto y esta, pero I never hear about the real Spurs Cheeseman. Dime, por favor.
All right, Spurs Cheeseman now is Derek Gervin, Rudy Campos Jr. And hey, it's playoff time. It's fiesta time. It's the first time in a few years, Derek, that San Antonio's been able to say that in, the same sentence, playoffs and fiesta in San Antonio. But Nonetheless, they are playing the Blazers. Hey, welcome back to the playoffs. I have said that the Portland Trail Blazers are the best team the Spurs could face coming back into the playoffs. They are a physical team. They are a top defensive team. They are number 1 in second chance points. They will give the Spurs fits. They will not beat the Spurs in the series. I've got Spurs winning in 5, but this is the perfect team because it kind of eases San Antonio into playoff atmosphere. You've got guys like Denny. You've got Shaden Sharp. You've got 2 great defenders in Kamara and Matisse Thybulle. You've got those 2 guys. So I think Portland's a great stepping stone for San Antonio getting back into the playoffs.
I'm picking the Spurs in the series, but you and I talked about this. You said 5 games.
I did.
I'm saying if the Spurs lose 1 game in this series, I'm really, really, really worried to the point where I might be off the bandwagon. I just think they should dominate Portland. And I mean, every game from start to finish.
Yeah.
You got Victor and you got these guys have been chomping at the bit, man. Now that time is here.
Yeah.
They've been hearing about how they don't have experience. Same stuff Oklahoma City was hearing.
Yeah.
I think that right there is going to light their fire. And I expect them to sweep the Portland Trail Blazers.
You say experience. And, at the beginning of the year when they were hot, they were coming out strong. I was waiting for the wheels to fall off because I thought there's no way the Spurs team can be this good right now. I expected them to make the playoffs. I didn't expect number 2 seed. I didn't expect the way they came out. But then I slowly but surely got away from the inexperienced part because I say, you know what? If they're inexperienced, it would have showed in the regular season. This is a team that didn't lose more than 2 games in a row all year long. If they're inexperienced, it would have come out. The loss against Minnesota in January, which to me was the turning point of this entire season. They had a big lead at halftime. They had a lead after 3 quarters. Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves in Minnesota ended up getting the victory at the end. They came all the way back to beat the Spurs. That could have been a turning point for San Antonio. That could have been the demise of a season for them. Because when you have a young, inexperienced team, losses like that can really weigh on you. But they blow them off. They lose, big deal. We move on. They come back stronger. So I don't use that inexperienced card no more with them. But you're saying 4-game sweep. If they lose 1, it's tough. You don't think Denny has anything in him to get 1 game? I'm going to be Nostradamus for you. The Sunday game, game 4, 2:30 is the game that I expect Portland to win. Spurs, for whatever reason, don't seem to play good on a Sunday afternoon on a lot of these games. So if there's 1 game that I'm picking, it's game 4 on a Sunday at 2:30. That's the one I'm taking Portland to win.
Who did Portland beat to even get to this position? Wasn't it the Suns?
It sure was.
And Denny had to play like a coming out all-star, right? All of a sudden, everybody know who Denny Avdia was.
Yeah, everybody does
now, right? And they barely beat the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
With no point guard, the Phoenix Suns, that team. So now you're playing a team that has a plethora of things they could throw at you.
Yeah.
You got Fox, Castle, Vassell, Harper. I can go on and on. I just don't think Portland, from top to bottom, has enough to compete with us. I even think a guy like Harrison Barnes is going to be important in this series. I just can't see them keeping up. And if they win a game, the reason I say this is the thing that I have to tell you, okay? Yeah. If Tiago Splitter was coaching against Greg Popovich, I would give the Portland 1 game because of how familiar he was with the system.
Yeah.
With Mitch Johnson now taking over and basically bringing in his own system, he does some of the stuff the Spurs did, but he's tweaked it where he's doing his thing.
Yeah.
I just don't think Tiago is familiar with them as he would be with Pop's Spurs. And I think that is another reason that the Spurs are going to, as they say, whip that butt.
So you've got Spurs obviously sweeping. And, I'm going to throw this out there. Victor did not play 1 game against Portland this year. I don't know if you know that. He sat out all 3 games.
Not even 1.
Didn't even play one game against Portland. When he didn't play against Portland this year, Denny averaged 31.6 points per game, almost 8 boards, 8 assists, almost a triple-double.
Getting to the basket.
Getting to the basket.
Yeah.
So I totally understand that. Victor makes a huge difference. But the reason why I say that is because Thiago's a big man. He knows how to play against big men in the NBA. He's got Donovan Clingan, who can knock down the three. So as a coach, if your biggest fear is Wemby around the basket, wouldn't you bring Clingan back out beyond the arc, move Wemby away from the basket to allow Denny to attack and maybe get to a cutting guard like a Shaedon Sharp or somebody like that? That's the reason why I kind of give the Blazers one, because I just feel like there's one game where it's just going to click for Portland, and then the Spurs will make that adjustment, is what it is.
I think you're forgetting about another guy on the Spurs. When you talk about big men, we got a guy that also came from champion Boston Celtics,
Cornette,
by name Luke Cornette.
Yeah,
and I think he's going to be a major factor. Clingan, I like his game, right? We know he's a guy that does all the little things, a Connecticut champion with Connecticut.
Yeah,
but I think they're going to be overmatched, man. I think Wemby's, first of all, by then, would the voting have been out, the MVP?
The voting's already been done. It was as of
so we're just waiting on the results.
We're just waiting on the results.
So, because I believe that Victor's already been informed that he's not going to win the MVP, right? And this is going to bring out that fire, like this guy played in Houston years ago by the name of Akeem Olajuwon.
Oh, boy.
That was beaten out by David Robinson for the MVP.
Yeah.
And that lit a fire under him. I think this is going to light a fire under Victor, him not winning this award, MVP, especially after he went on and basically promoted himself, right? This is going to make him angry, and I think he's going to take it out on Portland.
Probably takes it out on the rest of the league in the playoffs is what we're probably thinking. You got 4, I got 5. I guess I'm being nice to Portland, but, you know, I got to give them
They're capable of 1. I just don't see it, but they're capable.
I don't want to put any money or anything on it. We're not betting on any type of series, that's for sure. Because I'm the more you're telling me, the more I'm fearing that my 5-game prediction, they may be over in 3 games.
Poor Chauncey Billups, man. I hate to see it. Chauncey Billups. Every time I see Portland, all I think about. But we move forward, and here we go.
Yeah, we do, man. You mentioned about Victor, and we're not gonna upset Fiesta San Antonio right now. Well, maybe we will. You asked me clearly, is Victor even the best defender the Spurs have ever had? And I've consistently said no, I have not. Victor Wembanyama, for everything he's averaging block-wise and the turn away baskets, yada yada. Go back to the rookie season. I remember arguing with a lot of people on social media. Victor is generational. Victor's putting up these stats. But I said, look up David's rookie stats. Other than 3-point shooting, David beat Victor in every stat, every category, including blocks. So to this day, I still don't have Victor as a better defender as David. Not yet, but I still don't have him as a better defender. Coming from an NBA player and a guy that's played the game, am I right or wrong?
I don't have him as a better defender either. And if you remember Tim Duncan's rookie year, I was practicing with the Spurs, during the week. And so I've been on the floor with both of those guys, and they also had Will Perdue at the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so earlier, you and I, before we came on the air, I brought up this conversation about David Robinson, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing, one person I left out when we talked about the better defensive player. I mentioned Dave, but what about that guy, number 21, who's a 15-time all-defensive player? So the difference to me is I think Victor, he's pretty athletic, right? But I think Dave was more athletic. And I think Dave could cover more ground defensively. Mm-hmm. Victor is a good guy that, sometimes he come over and helps, but you see Victor get scored on a lot.
Yeah.
I've seen him get scored on when guys muscle him to the basket. I've seen him get scored on a lot easier than David Robinson.
Yeah.
And I know some people still remember the Olajuwon situation when he won the MVP. He got the best of Dave that series. But overall in their career, it was pretty much even. And so a lot of people don't realize David Robinson was a freak of nature. The guy used to be first in the sprints. He could walk on his hands from one end of the floor to the other.
Yeah.
Just a freak of nature. And Victor has a long way to go. He's on his way, but he has a long way to go to replace a David Robinson or Tim Duncan defensively. I didn't say Rudy Gobert. I said David Robinson or Tim Duncan.
Yeah. Be honest, man. No one was stopping Olajuwon that year in the playoffs. They're as great as David was a defender. Nobody was stopping the dream.
No one.
That guy was on a massive mission. He wanted to put the league on notice. He sure did. So I agree. I mean, yeah, Timmy still a better defender than Victor. And again, it's not like we're crapping on Victor. No, Victor's the defensive player of the year this year. He should be 3-time defensive player of the year. I mean, there hasn't been a year he should not have lost that award. But when it comes down to it, I mean, defensively, yeah. I mean, I still have him third.
Victor hasn't learned how to move offensive players off of their favorite spots yet.
Yeah.
And see, those are the little things you learn as you get more experience in the league. Tim and Dave knew how to let guys, even if it's 3 or 4 inches away from where they prefer to catch the ball, or Shaquille O'Neal a foot or 2 away from where he prefers to catch it. Those are the things that separate Dave and Tim for me right now.
Yeah.
Victor has a chance to learn that as he goes, but that takes years. And those two guys, they got it down. And I'm hoping Victor can get it down once again. He's on the right path, people. We're not beating up Victor.
No.
But you have to go by reality, what is right now. And that's what I'm doing.
Do you give the Spurs any shot at winning the title before we go this year?
Any shot? Are you kidding me? Yes, I give them a big shot. I think they're the only team could beat OKC. But the question is, could they beat Denver? Yeah, I give the Spurs a big chance. I think they're legit.
So do you think the NBA title comes down to a Denver Spurs series?
I don't know, because I don't know how they're going to beat. They're going to beat each other up. And so are they going to be fresh enough to compete against the OKC, a team that's coming out blazing on both ends of the floor?
Yeah.
And you know how if you look at the overall season, last 2 years, no one guards stars better than OKC.
Yeah.
They even limited Jokic, I believe, to 9 field goal attempts or 7 field goal attempts, something crazy like that.
Yeah.
No other team has played like that. So that alone tells me that Denver, OKC is going to be tough to beat. But I got the Spurs. I'm wearing my black today, man. Let's go Spurs.
All right, man. That is our NBA talk for today. Oh, you know what? Before we go, let's make our prediction right now. What's your NBA final going to be?
Wow. I have to pick. My NBA finals is going to be – oh, you're making me do this. It's going to be the Detroit.
We can't leave until we do it.
It's going to be the Detroit Pistons and the San Antonio Spurs.
Oh, we're going back to the old day here.
my hometown and my home now. I'm picking the Spurs, and yeah, that's where I'm going. Spurs. Let's go.
I can't, like I've said before many times, I can't take a team away for that I picked at the beginning of the season. So I've got to take Denver in my NBA finals in the Western Conference. Eastern Conference, you know what? I probably will say Detroit. I think they've been the best team all year. Cade's coming back. He's back already. I think Detroit gets it done. They have enough. Again, Philly healthy. They're probably the better team. I think Boston, it's Jalen, it's Jason Tatum. But again, we don't really know exactly what we're getting in Boston. The Knicks aren't even going to get out of the first round, according to you and I. I think Detroit is the last team that's talented enough to get to the finals. So give me Denver, Detroit.
My pick was based on who I want to win, because you and I both made our picks before the year.
Yeah.
And so I'm not the type of guy that's going to go back on my pick. I want to see the Spurs, Detroit.
It could happen.
But as you know, you and I both picked Denver to win it before the season. And I believe that's going to happen, but I would love to see it not happen, to see the Spurs and the Pistons. Even if the Pistons don't make it, my hometown, I want to see the Spurs have an opportunity, and then my Pistons can go for it next year.
I just want to see the Denver win it to get Jokic closer to your top 10.
they win, he definitely goes. He won't be close. If they win, you could already mark it down on my list. He'll be in the top 5.
Ooh. All right, come on, Denver. Let's do this the way Denver, because the Spurs are going to be title. They're going to win tons of titles, I think, in the next few years. They're going to be title contenders no matter what. But to get Jokic in your top 10, that would probably be.
Now I got, before we get off the air. So you say, so do you think the Spurs can win multiple championships?
With the current lineup that they have, the core guys, I'll go on record and say I see possibly 3.
Even with all those draft picks OKC have acquired, and they even received another one.
You've got to pay them all, though.
I know
that the max contracts are going to eat OKC.
That falls into my question about the Spurs. That's why I asked you, do you think they could win multiple? Because the same thing could happen to them.
Because you're going to have max deals for Castle, Wemby, and Harper. By the time OKC, they're going to have Shea. Because, De'Aaron Fox is still going to be, he still has a max deal now, but I think coming up again, I don't know if he gets that max deal. So that frees up a guy like Harper to get his. Where OKC, you're going to max out SGA for a while, obviously. You're going to max out Chet. Jalen Williams may be the guy that gets removed because he may not get a max deal. He may want to go play somewhere else. So that would help OKC. But if they got all these draft picks and they're getting all these top talent, they're either going to stay and max them or they're going to get rid of them because you can't pay them. So I think the Spurs are in better situation than OKC long term. That's the reason why I have them.
Didn't they already max Chet?
If they did, he's going to get another one.
I think they maxed him. Yeah, he'll get another one.
So, you're maxing 2 guys for a while. But here's the thing, too. I think Victor is in the same category of Tim. Not play, thought process. Tim could gotten more money than he could have wanted, but for the sake of the Spurs, he went into the Tom Brady category. I will give up money to make sure guys like Manu, Tony, everybody around me are here with me for the long term. I think Victor's that type of player. So I think he already shows his character, and that's why I think the Spurs, I'd give him 4 titles maybe in this little dynasty they're going to be having.
A quick shout out to Jalen Brunson for also doing the same thing. It took a lot more money, but so that they could get some of the other players. So shout out to Jalen Brunson as well.
Yeah, that's the way I feel on that too, man. It's been a long drive home. I'm sure everybody's at home already eating dinner right now. So appreciate everybody that's joined us here for the Sports Answer, the Friday Drive. You'll be catching myself and Derek Irvin on Fridays here in studio for Answer Now TV. Shout out to Salem Surround, 210-526-3635. Proud sponsors of us here at the Sports Answer. Playoff basketball, man. It starts tomorrow. It's going to be fun. You're going to catch me on Sunday as well for another Sports Answer, talking more playoff basketball. Also catch Jeff Garcia and Spurs in Focus, all a part of Answer Now TV. Hit that subscribe button so you are not left out. So for Derek Gerben, for the man behind the scenes, SOTB, it's Rudy Campos Jr. When you have those burning sports questions, we have the Sports Answer. See you guys later.
You've been watching the Sports Answer, brought to you by Salem Surround. Salem Surround is proud to be San Antonio's premier digital marketing agency, offering a wide array of services like digital audio, email marketing, online reputation management, SEO, social marketing, and more. Visit salemsurround.com, San Antonio, and stay in the game.